Welcome to Cathy D. Slat's Quantum Energy Group Zoom call. We're here on Cathy's website, cathydslat.com. To enter the Zoom call, we're going to scroll down and look for this Zoom banner here. I will click. The call will be live. You may want to lower the volume on your speakers. One moment, please.
So first of all, we actually have 3 energy groups running. Let's see, we got right here. As I was putting something together, well, we may only have 2 now. We may have done, oh, there's another one. We may have cleared one. But I want to show you, when I was going through what I was going through, I read, and I don't know what's true and what's not, as do none of us actually know what's true. But I read that they're actually sending the energy of virus environmentally. And in my case, I had seen the flu virus coming. I had cleared it every day. I also, though, was very negligent of my own health for a week. I was out of 1 product, and as a result, took none. And I blame myself for doing that. But regardless, I have this image. It's hard to send, so I haven't sent it. But it's like I'm going to show you in just a minute. But it's an image of like a squirrely image that clears virus. So I started out, I thought maybe we need to, every day for the energy group, clear this. So I put it in there, and then I tested, well, how beneficial is this going to be? Well, it was okay, but I like to see a 70 or higher. So I added the oath of manifestation. And again, it went up a little bit, but not much. So then I started adding and checking one thing at a time as I added to see how we were with the power of this cocktail. Next was defund and dismantle the censorship industrial complex. We know, those of us especially, I think, that come on the Zoom, know that there's no money in healthy people. And it's time for us to acknowledge this. Then we had, and I don't know, let me turn this off. Anyway, then this was a big one. This was a huge, so each one, as we added it, I tested for priority first. I literally went through all of my cocktails, which are numerous, to check each one for priority. This one was 100%. We must be holding, as a group, a certain amount of anger. And it's important that we alchemize that we need to pull the good out of it. Anger is not always a negative, but we need to pull only the good to cause us to go into action without in Qigong, they talk about that. My brain still isn't as clear as I'd like it to be, but basically hating someone is like drinking poison and wondering why they don't die. So anyway, we all know that. This one, I got this from Sharon a long time ago and used it, and it was a high priority. Any and all dark energy around me or my family, I now command to leave. And then vitalize all the systems within and around the body. I kept doing this and, testing as we went. I thought, I don't know if this is ever going to make into a powerful cocktail. Next, balance the 5-element oppression cycle, bedtime 5G prayer, blessing of the food, cleanse, heal, balance, open up, and protect all chakras. This was a real high priority. My beliefs have the power to change the flow of events in the universe, literally, to intercept and redirect time, matter, and space, and the events that occur within them. And this is a truth. This is a truth. Clear all bodily contaminants that do not belong. Create daily habits that are in resonance with universal laws. We have this, all of you have all these cocktails, all of you in your system. Emotional empower me was a big priority. That comes with the system when you purchase. I raise my vibration by eating healthy, nutritious food. Now, this is a pathway cocktail that is very powerful. We wanted that. Ready to Heal. Now, this was another huge one. This was 100% benefit, neutralize 440 hertz. And there is speculation that we've taken our musical industry and used it to send very negative energy to the masses. It's possible. Let me turn this phone off. It's very possible. And we certainly did resonate with neutralizing that frequency. Find and maintain balance between day-to-day functions and routines, physical health, and the need for order, vision, spiritual health, disorder, and the infinite. This one, I am a digital bioholographic precipitation, crystallization, miraculous manifestation of divine frequency, vibrations, and now discover my true path of service to God and mankind. Harmony, health, and homeopathic balance is administered vibrationally via the SRC. Restore love to the hearts of mankind. Block this 440 came up. Block the imposed 440 hertz that is herding population into greater aggression, psychophysical agitation, and emotional distress. Reveal the truth to the collective about the covert op. Now, this one sounds a little conspiracy. I hope it doesn't offend anyone, but it resonated very highly. The covert op, designed to convince people they are small, diminished, and at the mercy of larger forces, and then transform all energy into recognition of God's power within to create heaven on earth when unified. Now, still, I was adding all this stuff, and we still weren't up to where I wanted it to be, which would be over a 70% benefit to receive this cocktail. And then I added this one, complete understanding of the law of attraction, and I'll be doggone if it didn't go to 99% benefit. So there's this I would say make your own startup. This is for the group, and this resonates for the group. But if you will go in, down the cocktails you have and test, if you want to make your own startup, I think there's great potential in this kind of approach. And what I've been doing, I've got it running in the various P4s, but I also wanted to see what Pro Tools, and look what we're asking for today. Now, we started, I think yesterday is when I finally got this finished, and we wanted it in acupuncture. But this is the yes therapy. We actually want quite a bit of yes therapy, and I'm going to go ahead and honor that, and let's just start. I'm going to go down the list of the cocktails, and let's just start. And let's just start, keep it simple, with remove virus. And I'll go down the list during the day today and clear these as they go. But you get the idea. You can do some real creative things. You don't need to. We could go in anytime. And this is the real ultimate idea of the software, is for people that don't have the kind of time, say, that I have. This is my full-time work. But you can always just go in. I'm so thrilled. I have one good friend who has the software, and she finally, now she gets up every morning and she hits her wonder click. And you don't need to do any more than that unless you choose to. And let's just see what our overall and there you go. It could be just as simple as that. Now, I like to make a startup scan, and I like to look for certain things. That's my choice. But next month, for example, so far, it looks like we're actually going to go into music and the frequencies that can come to us through music, either by our own choice or with what's out there. And found some fascinating things on that. But meanwhile, you can go in, if you choose, and get it started. Let's just look and see if there's a couple of things we want. Let's see, do we want our 2023 vision board? Nope, don't need it today. Do we want the Remarkable Healing Scan, which is not completed yet? That's a big fat book, but we've got quite a bit so far. Well, we'll take it. So let's go ahead and stop that. Now, this Find Options button probably is my favorite application, because you could go through, you're looking anything that's 1,000 or less, according to Grandmaster, is proximity to the physical. So you've got a list of things here, and it's a good idea to read through them. For example, here we see we are asking for the Remarkable Healings Protection Prayer today, so we'll do that. Remove all blocks to healing at all levels of my being, and blah, blah, blah. You can see all of these. They're very subtle. This is all coming from the etheric field. This is not anything. That's why this work is so much more powerful when it is proactive, rather than once you're already in bad shape. Let's just go in here. Let's add the protection prayer. Let's see if we want any other version of it. First, let's see what came up. This is what happens is, even though you click, it seems like you're going to get your most important message anyway, regardless of what you click. And so we've got evil cannot penetrate my ultimate. I can't even read the whole thing. Let's just get it in there. So, ultimate source of love. So, of course, that's in there. That's an important message. Now, let's see what else. We have the belief codes. Don't need that. And I've been playing around with the gene keys, because some people really benefit from this scan. So no, we don't need it. So we actually can leave it at that. I've got others running with the basic startups, and we can actually just go in here now. And we don't need to add. Let's go ahead and these highlighted in red are your, acute right now, chi, replenish, and we can let the internet, my internet connection, it says, is unstable. Hope I don't lose you. We can let, for starters, the P4 work on this, and then once it finishes, if this doesn't clear, we can go deeper. But if we go into our yes therapy, okay, we need to do another. We're going to do this remove virus till it goes up to 100%. And then during the day today, I'll go down the entire list. But you get an idea. Any thoughts on this? Any questions?
I don't understand. I was caught up before in that because you always bring up that list in the options that has values that has,
Yes.
And I don't know where you get that list from.
I read books. And I listen to YouTubes and make a list. And I share it.
So you copied and pasted that, but then how did you get those values next to it on the right side?
Oh, that's when you target. For example, here's the Remarkable Healing Scan. And I got that from that's the name of the book, Remarkable Healings. And this is a psychiatrist who inadvertently discovered that many of her patients' mental and physical issues were spiritual. And so the book is a big fat book. It's taken me some time. But when I read it, I write things down from what I read. And then if you go to healingnumbers.info, you will get a code. Now, this is a mathematical universe. In fact, when people really study God, that is re-emphasized. This is a mathematical universe. So we get our code, and these are things I just added from the book as I continue to read. And then I'll show you real quick. Let's just put prosperity. Helps if you can type. Of daily energy numbers. And let's just go ahead and optimize as it is. And that's the nice thing also. We've got 10 applications. So you can, if you're working on yourself and your family, pull up many different versions. So let's see how we optimized. Okay, not real high. And now you can go in again. Let's go to just as an example. But if you go in here now to your find options, put that list in. And again, this is extremely subtle. This is our blueprint. But it can be extremely proactive as well, and it gives you great information. So here we are. We see dramatic freedom from physical and emotional symptoms. I am miraculously healed. I take an active part in my healing. Clear all mental degeneration. Clean and vibrant energy field. Clear all karma related to present physical I request and accept with gratitude. This gratitude is key in any kind of manifestation, as we all know on this call already. I believe I will be healed. Here's that belief thing. Crucial that we believe, excuse me, whatever we're doing. Invisible to all targeting technology. And I will say that has been coming up a lot, not just for the group, but for individuals. Cleanse, heal, balance, open up, and protect all chakras. Reclaim the thinking soul. Non-beneficial energies are transmuted to pure white light. Remove all blocks in healing. I now discover and bind all satanic and demonic. Now in this book, she talks very openly about that. And she says she does not know why this is the direction for her work. She has no clue. But what I liked about her is she says don't really, don't try to bring in clients and do this kind of thing. It's excuse me. So you see, for example, when I went through this, excuse me, when I went through this, look how often this comes up, invisible to all targeting technology. I don't know exactly the reference here. Let's just see if we want to do a field generator. Yeah, look at that. So don't hesitate to test, even when it doesn't come up in the Pro Tools. suggester. That one should be already loaded in. And then you have your thought, does this work? And I'm going to share that I believe that if you thoroughly believe it does, but there might be some action taken on your part as well, depending on what comes up.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
Speaking of action, remember a couple weeks ago, Dr. Kersey, when he sent out his letter, he had a video by, his last name is Inman. I can't remember his first name right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I also found another one of them. Very little information on this guy, but I happened to find another, I think, 55-minute video, and I started watching it yesterday. And he said one of the missing links is we have to give ourselves permission to do these things.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So he said, when's the last time you gave your body permission to, do whatever, get healthy?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought I would throw that in. That I think that might be a word, and a thought process that we need to
add
take to the next level.
Yes. Thank you. I have the one lady, and she's not local, so I've talked about her because I don't think anybody will figure it out. She is the person with tinnitus, and we've worked together a lot, once a week now for a long time. And I have been telling her that according to what comes up in the system, it's her own beliefs. She complains so much, and I don't blame her for complaining. She's a piano tuner. It's driving her nuts. But she keeps complaining, and we know the power of words. So she has been going also to this energy group that charges your water. And I'm telling you, they charge a fortune for that water. It's $75 a gallon. And I don't know what they're using with it, but they do a little computer run, and then they charge the water. And last week, when she met with them, they said, we have to tell you that your hearing is completely restored. And they didn't know, of course, what we've been saying with the SRC, but they said it's your own beliefs keeping you from pure healing. And it really floored her, because she is not doing this on purpose. She is doing her best, and yet she relapses. Part of it is just her nature. So she continues to work with her own words and her own belief system. But another real handy thing to do, and I'm not going to show it because you would see her name, but go into the mediator and see if you resonate with giving yourself permission to heal. And it is a shock very often when you see that you don't. And especially certain images, like I found this to be the case with weight loss. People that spend a fortune on every kind of approach you can imagine, but deep down, they don't want to lose the weight. They're scared. So all kinds of things to think about. We'll see how she goes now. She is definitely working on it. But the permission is huge. Thank you, Sharon. Peter, did this make sense now with the find options?
I think so. I guess I need to go to that healingnumbers.info and
yes,
make lists from that, and then I can copy and paste those lists into the
Well,
options.
I have some giant lists too, and I'm always happy if you let me know. We'll get on a Zoom, one-on-one Zoom.
Good.
But there is, I'll be happy to, I've sent the list out, but I'm hesitating to send so many emails because I think everybody's overwhelmed with emails, and I find out that a lot of people, they're really not doing anything with the emails. So, but these lists, the first time I saw a Grandmaster do this list, he used to give some seminars, and we were actually sitting in Piccadilly cafeteria, and he showed this find option, and we didn't have our computers. They asked us not to bring our computers, but for obvious reasons. We'd be sitting there doing that instead of listening. But when I saw this, I said, are you telling me that we can get to the point of what's really going on with this? And he said, yes, it was all I could do not to run out of there and get home to my computer, because I had a friend with what they were saying was actually MRSA of her lips. Can you imagine such a horrible thing? And I was able, once he finished, to get home and do some scrolling and get to the root source cause and make some suggestions. And whatever happened, she worked it out and she was okay. I'm not saying that the SRC did that. One of the biggest, I think, benefits of the SRC is the information. You often have to pull in action with it. It's just not enough to just send yourself the energy. Does that make sense?
Well, all the information just gives us more questions.
Yes.
The more questions we have, the more answers we can find.
Thank you. That's exactly right. And that's your wisdom, is asking questions, in my book anyway.
Right.
And not automatically believing what you're told. You got to question everybody. Question everything I say, and question everything you hear, especially on the media.
Of course. But I want to say that earlier you had something about believing in our healing, and I was realizing that I've always believed in advancing my healing, and it's amazing what shows up. Like, that's how SRC showed up, and it just last weekend I met somebody who was telling me about exosomes, and apparently you can find doctors now, some who work with a company out of South Korea, who have the ability to inject your own exosomes back into you in a way that they become much more powerful than stem cells.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will you send me some information on that?
I don't have enough yet. I'm accumulating it, because I know there are a few doctors in New York City where I am who do it, and I want to, contact them. And this man said that he would, who was on the board of this company in South Korea, said he would send me information from them. So we'll see.
Yeah, that is what I think. I tell people when we have individual sessions, once you start doing this kind of work, you're going to get information, because I think we're in the middle of a field that is there. It's set in place for us to thrive. I think we're here to create heaven on earth. The more I read, the more I believe that. And so what happens, excuse me, whatever form of stress, whether it be dietary or genetic or whatever we want to call it, whatever form of stress blocks that information coming in. And as you consistently do this kind of work, you open that up. So we know there are no coincidences. You were meant to get that information. That's just for fun, since we got this prosperity going. Let's see. Okay, so nothing there, just a good, make sure I got everything in, yeah. All right, so I guess that's it for everybody today. Okay, take it easy, you guys.
Take care. You
Have a
too.
good
Weekend, everybody. Bye-bye. You too. Bye.
This concludes Cathy's Quantum Energy Group Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.